In the last session, we have seen what is a counter and what are the different types of counters, namely the synchronous counter and asynchronous counter. And in asynchronous counter, how a 2-bit counter could be done with, then how the same circuit can be extended to the 3-bit counter and the 4-bit counter, and also about the truncated sequence, that is mod 10 decade counter we have seen. In today's class, we will be seeing about how we can analyze a 3-bit up counter or a 3-bit down counter, and we have a difference between the classification of the asynchronous counters and synchronous counters. Okay, so in the last class we have just seen how to draw a counter, that is asynchronous counter, in which what you will do if I want a 3-bit counter, that is if I want to count the data from, if you want to count the data from 0, 0, 0, 1 to, that is 0 to 7. So, totally 8 states you want to count. So, this represents the number of flip-flops that is required. So, we will be drawing 3 flip-flops. Okay, and we are going to give the logic high to all the things. Why? Because in logic high only it is going to get toggled. Okay, now and what is the difference between the synchronous and the asynchronous counter? In synchronous counter, all the flip-flops will be clocked simultaneously. Whereas in asynchronous counter, the output of the first flip-flop will be the clock pulse for the second flip-flop. So, there will be a delay for the second flip-flop to act after the first flip-flop output occurs. Okay, now if it is going to count in this sequence from 0 to 7, it can act as a up counter. Suppose if it is going to count from 7 to 1, then it has to act as a down counter. So, whenever I am going to give the clock, that is the output of the first flip-flop, and it is going to given as a clock pulse for the second one, and for the initial one we have to give a separate clock pulse. So, whenever I am going to give it in the normal fashion, that is from the normal output, if it is going to be fed to the input of the second flip-flop, and consequently if you could see from the Q1 it is going to be fed to the third flip-flop. So, if it is in this fashion, then it can be used as your up counter. Now, if I want to make it to work as a down counter, a small modification should be done. What you are going to do? So, instead of connecting the Q0, I am going to count it from the Q0 bar, that's all. In that case, what happens? It is going to be a complemented output. In that case, it will be functioning as a down counter. Okay, so once you know the logic, you can play with the counter specifications or your circuitry, whatever is required. Now we will move on to the next topic, that is what is the difference between the asynchronous counters and synchronous counters. What might be the first one that comes to our mind? Here all the flip-flops will not clocked simultaneously. First flip-flop will be clocked, after that the output of the first flip-flop only is fed as the input for the second flip-flop. So, what happens in case of your synchronous counters? All the flip-flops are clocked simultaneously. Okay. Now, the next thing, the delay of all the flip-flops. What happens in this case? The delay of all the flip-flops are going to get added. Whereas here, if I am going to have 3 flip-flops, yesterday I have derived a small formula, right? We have solved a small problem. So, if I am going to have each flip-flop is going to have 30 nanoseconds, totally 90 nanoseconds will be the propagation delay. Whereas here, in case of synchronous counters, all the flip-flops are going to be clocked simultaneously. So, in that case, we will have a minimum propagation delay. Next, whatever is the maximum frequency, it depends upon the modulus. What is modulus? Modulus is nothing but the number of states. This I can say it as either asynchronous 3-bit up counter or asynchronous mod 8 counter. So, the number of states 2 power 3. So, the number of the states it is going to count. So, that is called as a modulus. Okay, whereas here whenever you are going to come for your synchronous counter, the frequency is not going to be dependent on the number of states. The next thing, here whenever I am going to consider, the circuit will be simple. But wherever when you go in for your synchronous counters, you have to design, it involves more logic gates. So, the circuit will be complex. So, why it is simple? Because it requires minimum number of logic gates. Whereas here it requires the more number of logic gates. So, when I am going to use a less number of logic gates, what will be the criteria? Automatically, economically it will be cheaper. Whereas here economically it will be costlier. Okay, so this concludes today's session. In the next session, we will be seeing how to design the synchronous counters. Thank you.